Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Have you ever wondered about the multitude of organisms present in our earth? Yes, you know that our earth is the only planet. Earth is the only planet where life exists, isn't it? Yes. And you know that are these organisms present in the earth? Are these of the similar type or different type? Yes, there are similarity as well as differences in these organisms. Okay? Yes. Now, you see in your class itself, your classmates, you see, all of you are of same nature or same type? No, definitely not. No. You see, all of your, the width of your palm, is it the same? No, no, it is different. Okay. Similarly, what all features in which you people are different from each other? You are different from each other in your height, shape, size, okay, color, etc. So many. So individual organisms in this earth, they show differences as well as some similarities, isn't it? Now today we are going to present a lesson on these variation and differences, or we can say the different existence of different types of organisms in this earth. The existence of different types of organisms is what is called diversity. That is, the diversity among living organisms is called biodiversity. So now today we will be starting this lesson, diversity in living organisms. Okay? And now you see, there are small organisms like this rat, butterfly, microscopic organisms like bacteria, fungi, etc. At the same time, you can see that there are big organisms like elephant, blue whale, etc. All of you know, na? Yes. Now, whether it is small or big, many organisms are there. Then how can we study these organisms? Is individual studies very much easy? Never. Individually studying each and every organism is very difficult. So what we should do? Actually we are studying the organisms by grouping them, by making certain groups or categories. By making certain groups or categories we are studying them. Okay. So about that making groups, how we will make groups? We will be making groups based on certain characteristics. We will be making groups based on certain characteristic of the organisms. What are characteristics? Characteristic means characters only. The form and shape of the organism, the size of the organism, how your hair look like, how your body look like. All these are in biology termed as characteristics. And you know, for grouping the grouping of organisms, based on their similarity and differences is what is called biological classification. Biological classification. So let us continue this topic, biological classification. Biological classification. Now you see classification here, biological classification. What is classification? Arranging of organisms in a series of groups and subgroups based on their similarities and dissimilarities. This is what classification. The arranging or categorizing organisms based on similarities and differences into different groups is called biological classification. And there are different systems of classification proposed from time immemorial. You know who is the father of biology? Yes, Aristotle is considered as the father of biology. It was he who first proposed a somewhat acceptable system of classification, where you can see here, where he classified organisms on the basis of their habitat. You know habitat? Yes. What is habitat? Habitat is the place where an organism lives. Maybe in water, maybe in land, maybe in air, maybe aquatic, maybe aerial, maybe this what is called terrestrial in land. Okay, but do you think this classification is more proper? Next, this no, this classification is not proper. Why? Because you know that if you take habitat only, habitat for example water. In this water, there are different types of organisms. No, is this classification appropriate? No. Why? Because there are blue whale-like organism, there is shark-like organism, there is so many algae. I like that many organisms are there, and all are having different types of features also. So for classification, we always should consider the certain basic characteristics. For classification, we should always consider certain basic characteristics. What are the basic characteristics? You know that here are some of the basic characteristics which we are considering for classification. Which are they? You know, all of our living body are formed of cells as well as their products, cells and their products. So the nature of the cell is one of the major characteristics which is used for classification. You see, nature of the cell. You have already studied in the first chapter that the cell may be either prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Prokaryotic or eukaryotic. What is prokaryotic? Pro means primitive. Karyon means nucleus. Primitive nucleus means they do not have clear nucleus and other organelles. Only some genetic material will be there, naked genetic material without nuclear membrane. They are prokaryotes. Can you say some prokaryote? Yes, bacteria. Very good. Bacteria. Okay. Now, they may be prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means advanced. They are having clear nucleus, all other organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, all these will be there. They are eukaryotic. Do we belong to eukaryote or prokaryote? We belong to, eukaryotes. So, nature of the cell, and now cellularity, the level of organization we can say. What is cellularity? You know, some of the organisms only have cell, only a single cell. Can you say? Yes, there is amoeba, there is unicellular. So according to cellularity, it may be unicellular or we are belonging to, yes, multicellular. And you see, level of organization, again, higher and higher levels of organizations are there. These higher levels of organization include cellular, several similar type of cells become what is called tissues. Then several similar type of tissues becomes next level, which is the level? Good. Organ. And several organs becomes, organ system. Organ system only makes the organism. So, for another characteristic used for classification is level of organization like cellular, tissue, organ and organ system level. And the next another character, plants and animals, if you consider, they are having the mode of nutrition is entirely different now. Who can prepare their own food by themselves? Yes, plants. Okay, good. So, but animals cannot. So, they may be, nutrition may be either autotrophic or heterotrophic. Okay, these are some basic characteristics which we are used for classification. Can you say? Yes, good. Now, see, all the present day organisms, so many organisms are there in the earth. All these organisms were once upon a time where in some other forms we can say. Means the complete life is going on, changing. The life forms are also changing. Not in 1 day or 2 days or 2 years, many millions of years it will take for change. Anyhow, from time immemorial onwards, the organisms are undergoing very gradual change. The old organisms are generally primitive. They are primitive, primitive in nature, and they are having simple structure. And from that old simple structure, the present day organisms are slowly being formed. Present day organism, is it simple structure? No, it's having complex structure, and advanced. So we can say that that process of continuous change occurs through time. The gradual change from simple primitive organisms to complex advanced organisms is what is called, you can tell? Yes, it's called evolution. The process of change from the primitive to advanced is called Yes, evolution. So there is a close relationship between classification and evolution. The time is the key factor which helps in the development of complex organism from the simple one. And you know, whenever evolution name, organic evolution is termed, you may be remembering the name of the father of evolution, father of organic evolution. Who is the father of evolution? Yeah, Charles Darwin. Very good, Charles Darwin, who is considered the father of evolution, and he has described this about this evolution in his famous book, Origin of Species. His book, namely Origin of Species, written in 1859. He has released this book, Origin of Species. And so, what is actually primitive as well as advanced? Primitive organisms are having an ancient body design. And not changed much. Organisms with an ancient body design and they didn't undergo much change are called as ancient organisms. And the organisms whose body shows a complex design. Organisms whose body shows a complex design and are modern. Okay, they are called advanced organisms. So what is the primitive organism and advanced organism? Primitive organisms are with a simple structure, that is old one, and those with complex structure, modern one, is called advanced. We, the mammals, are very much advanced. Like that in plants, we are actually, I am more concentrating on today classification with respect to plants. Okay, so in plants, the angiosperm, flowering plants are the highly evolved. Okay, now you see all these different types of organism, which different types occurring is called biodiversity, which already I mentioned, no? Okay, so biodiversity, there are different existence of different types of organisms. Now you see, when we, for study purpose, we are making a hierarchy of classification. What is hierarchy? Hierarchy means something, some rank, some levels, some organizational levels. You know, in our Navodaya system itself, there is deputy commissioner, there are principals, PGT, DGT, like that is there, no? These are all grades. Like this, in living kingdom also, living we can say biosphere also, there are different levels of classification. Okay, you know, those organisms which can breed, which can reproduce, which are having similar character. Those human being can reproduce with human being only, no? Yes, mango tree can reproduce with mango tree only, no? These organisms, similar organisms which can breed among themselves, that is what is called species. What is called species? Species, okay. Species is the lowest level of classification. Okay, means they are very much similar. They can breed among themselves. And a group of similar species becomes what is called genus. A group of similar species becomes what is called genus. You know, in dog, all of you know dog and cat. Are all the dogs of the same type? No. Dogs are having different types. Their species are there. All these different species, Pomeranian, Bulldozer, whatever it is, all these different species together becomes genus. And you know, dog like some other organisms are also there, no? Yes, wolf is there, fox is there, like that we can say a group of species, a group of similar genus becomes what is called a family. Now, a group of similar family becomes, see and tell me, yes, order. A group of similar order becomes under a higher level, namely class. A group of similar classes becomes what is called phylum. Term is used with respect to animals, or division. Term is used with respect to plants. And this phylum or division becomes the highest level of organization. Which is the highest level? Kingdom. So how many levels are there in total? There are 7 levels you can see. So let us once more tell that species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, and last kingdom. This type of arrangement of organisms, grouping organisms into higher and higher levels is called hierarchical system of classification. What is called a hierarchical system of classification. Okay? Now, you see, Now we will be concerned with the classification, hierarchical classification. Now there are different systems of classification. There is some systems are proposed by different. First we told Aristotle proposed. No, yes. Now after Aristotle, the best accepted system of classification in this biology is the 5 kingdom classification. 5 kingdom classification is there, which is proposed by Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, R. Whittaker in 1969 proposed this 5 kingdom classification. Other than this 6 kingdom classification is there. There is Carl Weiss proposed a 6 kingdom. But we want to concentrate on 5 kingdom classification proposed by who? Whittaker. Okay. According to Whittaker's system of classification, there are 5 kingdoms. This kingdom, highest level only get it. Which are the kingdoms? Yes. Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and Kingdom Animalia. We should have a brief discussion about this. Let us start with the first one, Kingdom Monera. Monera means they are the simplest ones out of these 5 kingdoms. They include simple organisms, and all of them are prokaryotic. All of them are prokaryotic. And see, this prokaryotic unicellular organism. Prokaryotic unicellular organism. All the prokaryotic unicellular organisms are included under which kingdom? Yeah, Monera. Kingdom Monera. Okay. And other characters you see prokaryotes already you know. Here bacteria is shown. Do they have a clear nucleus? No. They are having a primitive nucleus without nuclear membrane, etc. Okay. Most of the organelles are absent. So definitely they are prokaryotic. And they may or may not have a cell wall. And they may be either autotrophic or heterotrophic. Some bacteria are autotrophic. Okay. Some of them are heterotrophic. And some of them are able to fix atmospheric nitrogen also. Nitrogen generally cannot be directly absorbed by plants, no? So they are to be fixed. For that some bacteria are helping. And they reproduce by sexual methods. Sexual method is not known or very primitive type is there. And which are the organisms coming under Kingdom Monera? Yes, bacteria, cyanobacteria and mycoplasma. Mycoplasma, you remember, mycoplasma is considered as a simplest organism. The simplest cell known. Some smallest cell known is mycoplasma, who do not have even a cell wall also. Don't have a cell wall. Okay, so mycoplasma, cyanobacteria. What is another name for cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria, which are also known as blue-green algae. Okay, and bacteria. This belongs to the Kingdom Monera. Now let us see what is belonging to Kingdom Protista. The name Protista. Pro means primitive. Protista means primitive animal. Actually, it is not animal. Some of them are showing characters of animals. Most of them are showing characters of plants. Okay, here which animal is shown? Yeah, amoeba. Okay, this is protozoan. We can call this Protista as a protozoan also, primitive animal. Okay, but Whittaker has named it as Protista. And in this Protista, amoeba, paramecium, trypanosoma, like that organisms are coming. Okay, in Protista. Yes, and whether they are unicellular or multicellular, they are unicellular organisms. But what is the difference from Monera? They are all eukaryotes, not prokaryotes like Monera. So Protista includes unicellular eukaryote organism where a clear nucleus and all other organelles are present. And they are also, they may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. And the main character of this Protista is that they are having different types of appendages for helping in movements. In movements, some of them moves with the help of cilia. Some of them moves with the help of cilia. Can you say an example? Like the slipper-like animal which is present in water. Yeah, there is paramecium. Okay, some of them moves with the help of the flagella. That is euglena. Which one? Euglena, unicellular organism. They have 2 flagella, long structure. Okay, and euglena is special in that they have chloroplast as well as animal character. Animal character means they can move from a locomotive from one place to another, unlike other plants cannot locomote, no, but a euglena can locomote. Okay, then what is the movement locomotory structure in this organism? You can see these projections. Yeah, they are called pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. So pseudopodia, cilia, flagella, like the different types of organisms are there. And under this protista, diatoms also comes, which are mainly parts of plankton, the free floating plants present in water. Okay, so diatoms, amoeba, paramecia, all this belongs to protista. Now let us look at the next kingdom, third kingdom, which is the kingdom, yes, fungus, fungi. You know what is the difference from fungi and, or you might have heard about algae? Yes, fungi, algae will be there. So you can see here so many different types of these yeast as well as molds. Yeast and mold, MOULDS. You know, fungi is the group where all are heterotrophic organisms. Where all are heterotrophic organisms. What do you mean by heterotrophic? Yeah, they are not able to prepare their own food. Why? Because they lack chlorophyll. No chlorophyll, chloroplast. That's why they cannot prepare the food. They are heterotrophic. And how can they prepare? How do they get the food? Yeah, most of them are getting food by breaking, decomposing the dead materials. Those organisms which break and get the food from dead materials are called saprophytes. What are they called? Saprophytes. Good, saprophytes. And some of them may be parasites also. You know the difference between saprophytes and parasites? Yeah, saprophytes means getting food from dead materials by breaking our waste, etc. Parasites means which are getting food from our or nutrition from our own body, living body. Okay, head gloves, etc. parasites. Our santalum plant, that is a parasite plant. In parasite plants also so many parasites are there. Okay, so that's what. And one of the other feature is that here the cell body is made up of a special type of chemical called chitin, a chitin body, CHITIN, chitin. Okay, or chitin. And you know, some of these fungus are showing symbiotic relationship. Some of the fungus are showing symbiosis. Symbiosis also known as mutualism. Mutualism, you know, mutual, paraspar means mutualism means the relation between two organisms in which both the partners are equally benefited. Symbiosis is a relationship where both the partners are equally benefited. Let us see how fungus is doing like this. Fungus makes symbiotic relationship with means in lichens and in mycorrhizae. What are lichens or lichens? Lichens are nothing but a group of organisms, group of plants where fungus and algae are living together. One part is algae, another part is fungus. Like this mutual relation between fungus and algae. Both are helping each other. Okay, fungus helps to absorb and protect algae. Algae prepares food. So that is symbiotic association. Symbiotic association between algae and fungus is known as that is known as lichens, and association between this fungus and plants, association between fungus and plants, hair plant is known as mycorrhizae. Actually, rhizae means roots. With the roots of hair plants, fungus makes a relationship. That is called mycorrhizae. So lichens and mycorrhizae both are symbiotic relationship. Okay, and most of them are multicellular active. Only one unicellular fungus is there. Which is the unicellular fungus? Yeast. Which one? Yeast. Okay. And yeast mushroom. All of you may be knowing mushroom. Mushroom, that is an umbrella structure. Now in rainy season you can see plenty of it. Isn't it? That is also a typical fungus. Now which is next kingdom? Yeah, kingdom plant. Kingdom plant is a big group. Okay. What are plant means plants only. Our big plants what we see. Not only big, smaller also. Okay. So plant includes all green autotrophic plants. All the green autotrophic plants which is mostly multicellular are called plantae, and all almost all of them are autotrophic. Okay, 99.9% is autotrophic only, and these are fully photosynthetic. And this kingdom plant is divided further, classified into 5 major divisions. Kingdom plant is further divided into 5 major divisions. How this major division classification is done, you know, there are different points. Based on first, whether these plants, you know, whenever plant is told, we remember that plants are having 3 parts, no? Means mainly 3 parts. Which are they? One which absorbs water from the soil, that is, yes, roots. Then one which conducts, that is, stem, and one which prepares food, leaf. So root, stem, leaf. This type of differentiation is there or not there, depending upon the first we have divided the kingdom plant. You see, those plants which have no differentiation, undifferentiated plant body, there won't be root, there won't be stem or leaf, but they are plants. They are belonging to the kingdom family, this Thalophytes. Which one? Thalophyte. So you see, here are all Thalophytes. What is Thalophytes? Thalophytes are the simplest group of plantae, where simplest group of plants, where body is not differentiated into root, stem, leaves, and all of them are aquatic. All of them are aquatic, either in fresh water or in marine water, and they are covered with algae. Algae is belonging fully algae. Maximum algae are the lowest group of Thalophyta. Algae. They are covered with a slimy substance. The slimy substance is called mucilage. So they are covered with mucilage, and they are able to reproduce by all types of reproduction. Vegetative reproduction it may be, or maybe asexual, or maybe sexual, all these methods. And algae are the typical examples. Algae may Chara, Cladophora, Alva, our Spirogyra, all these are common algae or common Thalophytes. Okay? And further, they do not have any conducting tissues also. Now, next again we are dividing. Actually, we told the plantae includes 5 divisions. No? One is Thalophyta, next division is Bryophyta. This Bryophyta, next division comes Pteridophyta. Next is, we can say, this Gymnosperms, next Angiosperms. Actually, how it is divided, let me say, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, there is 2 groups. They do not have vascular tissues. What tissues is? Vascular tissues. What is another name for vascular tissues? Yes, vascular tissues are also known as conducting tissues. Can you say the name of the conducting tissues in plants? One which helps in transport of water, one which helps in transport of food. You have studied earlier. Yeah, correct. That is xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are completely absent. Where in which group? Only in this group, Bryophyte. Okay, so Bryophytes plant body is differentiated into, there is slight differentiation. No root, no stem, no leaf, not like that. A root like, a stem like, and leaf like organs are there in Bryophyte. Like organs, not exact. Okay, and one of the major feature of this Bryophyte is that they at least want water, even though they are living terrestrially, means on the land, they require water at some stage of the life cycle. Especially during reproduction, they require, it's a compulsory, water is required. So they can live both in water and land. That's why they are known as both life, amphibian. They are said to be the amphibians of the plant kingdom. Bryophytes are known as amphibians of the plant kingdom. And they also shows all types of reproduction like vegetative, sexual, and you can see it is very common in our ground during rainy season, Rexia, Mercantia, or this this one moss, if it is a mosses like Anthoceros, Funaria, all these are examples of these groups. Now next comes the division Pteridophyta, third division. Pteridophyta shows one more advanced character. What is the character? Vascular tissues are present. Pteridophytes are the first land plants, first true land plants, we can say. The first true land plants with vascular tissues. So they are with vascular tissues there. Okay, so first true land plants with vascular tissues are known as Pteridophytes. They are having clear stem, root, leaf, all these parts are there. Okay, and they have clear conducting tissues also is there. Bryophyte onwards conducting tissues will come. Okay, and here onwards clear stem, root, leaf. Plus they are they are having xylem, phloem, all this told. And another very important feature of Bryophytes, Pteridophyte and the next group is that they produces reproductive structures which are hidden inside the body. The reproductive structure which are hidden inside the body. It is not visible. In angiosperm flowering plant, if you see the reproductive organs are visible. Which is reproductive organ in the flower, no? Like a flower is not there. Here special reproductive structures are there which are called spores. What are they called? Spores. And which all groups Thalophytes also. Bryophytes, Pteridophytes. These 3 groups are having hidden reproductive structures. So hidden means crypto. In Greek word, there is a Greek word called cryptos. Cryptos means hidden. Hidden, you know, masked, not seen, visible, not visible. So hidden and gamos. Gamos means union, marriage, means fusion. So these three groups of plants. Which are the three groups of plants? Tell me. Helophytes, bryophytes, pteridophytes. All these plants are together known as cryptogams. Very important term. Cryptogams. What are cryptogams? Cryptogams are those plants with hidden reproductive structures like spores. It is not visible. Okay. And they require water. Here also they require some water during some stages. Okay. And you see, this is very common. The ferns, dianthum, selaginella, different examples are there which you will study in our classes. Okay. All this belongs to which one? Pteridophyta. Now, after this comes the last two groups, namely gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms and angiosperms are having a common feature that both of them produce seeds. Both of them produce seeds. Before this, whatever group we have studied, they will not produce any seed. But seed producing plants, there are two groups. Which are the two groups? Yeah, gymnosperms, and second one is angiosperms. Gymnos means naked. Sperma means seed. Gymnos means naked. Sperma means seed. Means naked seed bearing plants. So what are gymnosperms? They bear naked seeds. Okay. Naked seed means generally, you know, mango when we are eating, that is angiosperm. Here seed is present inside the fruit, no? But here seed is not present inside the fruit. They are present outside. They are producing special reproductive structures called cones. Here you can see pinus plant. There are special reproductive structure called cone. It is not fruit. There inside there itself the seeds can be seen. Okay. So naked seed bearing plants are called gymnosperms, and they include big trees, etc. Perennial plants. What is perennial? Perennial means living for many years. Living for many years. Perennial evergreen trees having thick woody stem. Okay. Or sequoia, one of the largest tree in the world. Sequoia. That is belonging to this group, gymnosperms. So, and they bear cones in which seeds are produced. And Sequoia semipervirens is the largest tree found on earth. You see, how much? 125 meters. Very big, no? And some other examples like our Cycas pinus, okay, etc. belonging to gymnosperms. And the last group of plant is the highly advanced group, which is a group division angiosperms. Angion means covering, sperma means seeds. Angion means covering, sperma means seed. So angiosperms are the producing fruits in which seeds are present. Fruit, what is there in which seeds are protected? That is why it is covered seeded plants. And what is the major character? You can see here they are producing flowers. That is why they are called flowering plants, commonly called as flowering plants. They bear flowers as their reproductive structures. And you know, as they produce as fruit contains seed, no? And seed, inside the seed if you go, you will see embryo. If you see embryo, you can see inside the seed. This embryo having structure, they are having two seed leaves. Seed leaves, which is called cotyledons, or one cotyledon, one seed leaf. Okay, in our rice, wheat, etc., only one cotyledon or seed leaf will be there. So anyhow, the angiosperm seed will be enclosing one embryo, which is able to grow later. The process of growing of embryo into a small plant is called germination. And we will be ending the topic by discussing the two divisions of this angiosperm. Very important. The two divisions of angiosperm include the monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocotyledons and dicotyledons. From the name itself indicates what is dicotyledon. Cotyledon I told. Cotyledon is the seed leaves present inside the seed. Okay, if you soak, suppose you take some seeds, for example, the beans, peas, or our tamarind seed, and rice, wheat, this we have soaked. Soaking, you know? Yeah. After soaking, you try to split it. Which one will split into two exact halves? Yeah. Our tamarind, yeah, bean, etc. will be splitting in two halves. And each half is one cotyledon. Center of which one embryo is, a white embryo. Okay, and those which are having two cotyledons in the seed are called dicots, and those who are having one cotyledon is called monocots. Okay, and you know, having two cotyledons means generally bigger plants with taproot system. Which system? Taproot system, which you have studied. But monocots like grass, rice, wheat, all these are monocots. they are having fibrous root system. So tell me some difference between dicots and monocots. Yeah, dicots are having two cotyledons and monocots are having single cotyledon. Dicots are having what type of root system? Yeah, taproot system. What about monocots? They are having fibrous root system. And the remaining so many differences are there that you have partially. And the last of group is the Animalia. Last kingdom is kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Plantae over kingdom Animalia. Okay, Animalia includes all multicellular, all the animals which are heterotrophic in nature. They cannot prepare their own food. Okay, so the kingdom, they are eukaryotic organisms of heterotrophic nature. They are multicellular organisms. They do not bear any cell wall or chloroplast. That's why we cannot prepare our food now. Yeah, they are further divided into so many groups that we will study later. Okay, so with this I am ending my topic. Okay, any doubt you can ask also. Thank you.